Hey y'all, welcome back. Walking out to the garden. I've got all my stuff. I had to put all my stuff in a feed bucket. Walking out to the garden. I'm gonna try to do a little July garden update for you. Things looking a little different in here from the last time that I did a garden update. So I wanted to show you what I have going on and how things have changed. Check out around the greenhouse though. I don't have, well, I'll have to go back and look. I don't think I have any like before pictures or before videos of what this looked like a couple of weeks ago, but man, it looks so much better. My mom and dad are like perfectionists when it comes to their landscaping around their house. And so, y'all, this whole little flower bed was full of weeds, and I had put some straw in there to try to keep it somewhat mulched to keep the weeds down and keep dirt from splashing on the sides of the greenhouse. And a lot of that straw had washed away, and I really just had weeds, and it was just a mess. And so my mom came out the other day and she couldn't hardly stand it. So we took a trip to Lowe's and bought most of these plants on clearance. Actually, all the plants we bought were on clearance. I spent like, gosh, not even $50. And got some plants, and we got in here and we planted, we weeded, and we mulched, and man, it looks so much better. Really, the only thing that's looking kind of pitiful is this rose bush here. I'm not sure what's going on because I have one over there too. You see that guy? He looks so good. I need to deadhead these dead roses, but looking so good. It has grown a lot, but this one, I don't know. I need to I guess I need to fertilize. I don't know. They get watered every day. I come out here and water every day. So I'm not real sure what the difference is there. These guys here are, what was this? I bought these on clearance 2 days ago. English lavender, $4 each. So I'm probably going to just plant these on the back side of the greenhouse because I don't have anything back there yet. So it's kind of a work in progress, but it looks so much better. These butterfly bushes, gosh, look at them. They're already blooming. And these cone flowers, or echinacea, I got. And this one has yet to bloom. It's been in there a while. I don't know what's going on, but this one just bloomed, looking pretty. That one, I need to come in and deadhead that, but gosh, they look so good. And then I'll take the lavender probably around here and just plant it here, and then probably get some shrubs, some like dwarf shrubs that don't come up above the windows, and plant them back there. Okay, on to the garden. Obviously, since the last time I showed you the garden, things are a bit different. This was another thing my mom helped me with. That's the thing about parents. They can tell when you're a little in over your head and you're kind of just keeping your nose above the water. So they came in and helped me big time. They helped me weed this whole garden, or my mom did. She came out one morning and we weeded for hours, and it had just really gotten out of control. The cardboard method, you know, I had put cardboard on the bottom under all of this dirt, and then put my dirt and my compost on top, and the cardboard did well, but it did well in the places where I put it down well. And in the places that I didn't really put it down that great, the weeds were just out of control. And so I decided to come in with this landscape fabric and just go ahead, put landscape fabric down on my walkways. This won't last forever. This is just enough to keep the weeds suppressed. And then I'll be able to take it up eventually and use it somewhere else. But yeah, that's why that's there, because the weeds were just crazy out of control. I bought these little, let's see. I bought these at Lowe's. I don't know if these are actually gonna be sufficient to hold it down. I don't feel like those are actually gonna grab into the dirt very well, but we'll try them. So the last time I showed you the garden, I don't think that, it was in June, and I don't think that I had any dahlias in bloom yet. I don't think. I'd have to go back and look. I can't really remember, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. But now I do, and I want to show you because this is the first year I've ever done dahlias. Gosh, they're so dang pretty. Y'all, check this dahlia out. It's giant. Look at it. I mean, I got big hands, and this thing takes up my whole hand. For size reference, check out this one. This guy came from Walmart. I had just randomly picked up a little, I think it was like a 3-pack of Dahlias from Walmart for pretty cheap. They're real pretty, but you know, there's nothing just like super special about them. And this one is a specialty one. And I got this from Muddy Acres Flower Farm. She's a flower farmer I follow on Instagram, and she sells dahlia tubers every year. And so I picked this one up. This one was called, pretty sure this one was called Rip City. Gosh, it's so dang pretty. And it's been, you know, I don't know anything about dahlias really, so I didn't know how long they would stay in bloom. But this thing has been here for a couple weeks now, and it still looks really good. So that one is called Rip City. This one, it was just one of the ones in the 3-pack from Walmart, but it's real pretty. This is the 3rd bloom, I think. Yeah, because I had cut one, and then so it's bloomed 2 other blooms for me here. This one, I'm pretty sure, was also in that 3-pack. You can see the little bugs have kind of gotten to it a little bit. But really pretty color. And then this one I thought was another one of those Rip Cities, but it's not. This one may also be from that 3-pack. But gosh, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. And I'm actually about to get in here and stake them up. I brought some stuff out here to stake them up because you can see that they're kind of falling over. Like that one there is leaning pretty bad. That one is too, which is why they're all kind of wonky down here. It's because they've been leaning over. But these guys here, this one's going to bloom. I'm pretty sure this one was the one. Well, this one was. I know this one was one of the ones from Muddy Acres. Also, let's see, potentially this one was as well. So I'm excited to see. I can't exactly remember what I ordered because it's been so long ago. So I'm excited to see what they're going to give us. But I need to stake them up. I just filled in this little area here a couple of days ago with some sunflower seeds. I think they were Pro-Cut White. So we should be seeing some little seedlings pretty soon. And before the seedlings pop up, I do have plans to come in here and put some sort of rabbit netting around the bottom, because that's why I don't have sunflowers in here, because the rabbits ate all the ones I sowed a couple months ago. Zinnias, more zinnias. These little ones, you know, everybody loves the like giant zinnias, and I love them too. But look at these tiny little ones. They're so tiny. Jill from Whispering Willow was over here a couple of days ago or so, and she was looking at them, and she could not get over how small they were and how cute they were. And they're so stinking cute. And I'm pretty sure these are the ones that came from a friend had sent me a seed packet, or a few seed packets, from the Magnolia Silos. And I'm pretty sure that that's where these little tiny guys came from. But they're so fun, and they're so good. They would be such a good filler in bouquets because they're just so tiny. I think that they would add just a lot of interest to a bouquet. And even these guys, I love the color on these. So fun. And then these guys are the ones that reseeded from last year. These are my all-time favorite, the Cactus Zinnias. So pretty. And then here's something I sowed several weeks ago, and I don't remember now what it is. It's some sort of flower. So we're just letting it do its thing until we can figure out what it is. You know how responsible gardeners are really good to take notes and label the things they plant. I'm not one of those people. Literally, I just planted these 2 rows. This one over here, and then this one here where all the straw is. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and I cannot remember. I know one of them is beans. I am 80% sure that this is bush beans down this little row. And I don't remember. Maybe more sunflowers. And it blows my mind that I can't remember. It was literally just days ago, and I can't remember. But both of these rows are planted. This was the row that I've been saying for months now, I'm gonna put some beans in here, and then this is the row that I finally just planted with, I'm pretty sure, beans. This row here was a little disappointing. This was my squash row. I had patty pan squash in here. And in my last video, I'm pretty sure I said, oh, the squash bugs aren't that bad this year. And then I think I like jinxed myself because they just decimated my squash a couple weeks after that. And quite honestly, like I said earlier, I do feel like I'm just kind of keeping my head above the water with the market garden and working at the hospital and teaching at the gym. And then trying to keep this greenhouse garden going too. You know, we added pigs. I just feel like we have all the things going, and quite honestly, a lot of things are just kind of getting overlooked or not being addressed at all because I'm only one person, you know. So squash, I didn't even try to handle the squash bug situation because I didn't have the time. And so I got one harvest of patty pan squash before they pretty much all just died. I pulled them up, fed them to the pigs, and then replanted this with whatever I replanted with, maybe sunflowers, I don't remember, but it is replanted. And the funny thing is, over here on my arch trellis, here is where I had all of my pickling cucumbers. I think they were Boston pickling cucumbers. The day, they were looking great. They looked fantastic. And the day after I pulled up all of my squash plants, all of the squash bugs moved over to the cucumbers, and it took, gosh, maybe 24 hours for them to kill those. And so I pulled those out, fed those to the pigs, and I have since replanted that trellis. And I do know I have a melon on there, and actually the melon I planted is one my mom gave me seeds for. I don't know if it'll germinate. It's some sort of tiny little melon, almost like a cantaloupe that she got from the store. She said it came in a 2-pack, and she just loved them. She said the flavor was great, and they were just like the perfect size because they were just like a little personal size. And so she saved the seeds from it, gave me the seeds. I don't know if they'll germinate, but she wanted me to try it. So I went ahead and planted them on this trellis. We'll see. It'll be fun if they do. She gave me the little card it came from, or the card that came with the packaging, and it was like from this family farm somewhere, I don't even remember where. So it would be fun if they germinated. I don't know that they will. I've been watering them every day. Obviously melons need quite a bit of water, so we'll see. It's only been a couple of days, so obviously no germination yet, but I'll keep you updated on that. The tomatoes have finally started to really come on. The tomatoes in the tunnel are out of control, and then the tomatoes out here are really starting to pump out. You can see I'm starting to get a little bit of disease on here. I need to come in here and prune. It's been a minute since I've come out here and pruned. Obviously, it's been a minute since I've added to my trellising, my Florida weave. I think that by the time that I get to the top of this T-post and put the last string on there, it'll be about time for these to come out of the ground. The heat and the humidity will really have taken a toll on these guys. Oh my goodness. You see this? Here's another thing that I've really been trying to stay on top of that obviously I have not done a great job. Most of my attention goes to the tunnel because that's where the money is for me right now. And unfortunately that means this garden gets kind of put on the wayside a bit. It is still pumping out the food. It's providing us a lot of food, but we are about to find the hornworm that is killing this plant. Hold on, we're gonna find it. Found him. Nasty little thing. You see that? He's gonna go to the chickens. Is that not wild? Look what he did to this. There may be another one on here. I'll have to keep looking a little bit. But I was out here last night watering things and getting some things done, and this plant was not like this last night. I mean, it probably had some leaves and things eaten and I just didn't notice it, but man, they will just destroy a plant. That's another thing. Like I said, a lot of my time is going to the tunnel. I had a big hornworm, and I think they're cutworm. Holy cow, look at this one. yeah, I got some work to do. Anyways, I had a big hornworm, and I think they're cutworms. Big infestation of that in the tunnel. Jill said that she had used, last year she was growing for a farm, and she used dipel dust, which is an organic option to help control the worms. And so I took that out to the tunnel. I had ordered that quite a while ago, actually before my tomato plants ever went into the ground. I ordered that because I knew, you know, it was coming. The worms were going to come at some point in the summer. So I had that on hand, and I thought that I would dust the tunnel, and then I thought I'd have enough to come out here and dust out here, but I ran out. So I ordered some more. It won't be here for another week or so. So in the meantime, I'm just going to continue to hand pick these guys. I need to just give a little more of my attention out here though and control this situation. And if you didn't know, a lot of people know this method, but a really good organic, if you will, option to control hornworms, and a kind of an easy option to, chickens are getting excited about the worms over there. Easier way to control, or easier way to spot them, I guess I should say. If you'll get a black light and you'll come out here at night after dark, obviously it's got to be dark, and you'll shine a black light, you will find your hornworms a lot easier. They'll glow in the black light, and you can identify them way easier. They are kind of hard to identify on a tomato plant because they're green. They just blend in. But yeah, if you'll get a black light and come out here and shine it on them, they'll glow at night. Okay, to the chickens they went. Nasty little things. Yeah, I just got to get out here and get on top of that. I just ran into a spider web. Now I feel like I need to just be out here looking for hornworms. Okay, so tomatoes are looking really good despite the hornworms and a little bit of disease I have going on. The disease issue, honestly, this time of year, this area is not surprising. That's just kind of how it goes. And I just kind of expect it. I'm not seeing the same disease issues in my tunnel that I am out here. So no doubt it is the inconsistent watering, the humidity, really just a moisture issue, because I don't have those same issues in the tunnel. But regardless, I'm still getting a lot of tomatoes out of here. we're able to eat them fresh. I'm still able to store some. I've been freezing some. And I've even been selling some from out of this garden. Not much. I'm trying to save a lot of this for us, but I've got a lot of yellow tomatoes out here, and I've had a lot of interest in the yellow tomatoes. It's funny, not a lot of people have tried a yellow tomato, so I have been selling some of those as well. I want to show you this though. This is really interesting and really disappointing and a little baffling to me. So I've never experienced anything like this, but a couple weeks ago I noticed some funny formations on the leaves on the tops of my tomato plants out here. I'm not seeing this in the tunnel, I'm just seeing it out here. And from everything I've heard and read, this is some sort of herbicide damage. And I don't really know where it's coming from. It's not coming from anything we've done. We don't use herbicides. And so, since I'm not seeing it in the tunnel, my best guess is that it's some sort of spray coming from somewhere else within our vicinity, and it's drifting over here, which is really frustrating. At first, I thought maybe it was the compost I used that I bought. But I don't think that is the case, because I used some of that compost to pot up my seedlings, first of all, and I didn't notice it in my seedlings. And I also used a ton of that compost out in the tunnel. That's why I bought the compost, and I'm not seeing it in the tunnel, so I don't think that that's the issue. Another thing that it could be coming from is the straw mulch that I've used. I don't think that's where it's coming from, because I bought this mulch from Tractor Supply, or the straw from Tractor Supply, and it was labeled as not having any sort of herbicides used. And so I'm trusting that you know, they're being honest about that. So I'm wondering if it's some sort of drift coming in, the air is bringing in, or the wind is bringing in something from a neighboring farm or something, which is really disappointing. Like I said, it's not on every plant. It's just on a handful of plants. It's so bizarre. I haven't pulled them up or anything because I'm kind of curious to see what happens. I've never experienced anything like this. But yeah, just really odd. Peppers are really starting to come on. Peppers in the tunnel are coming on even quicker than the ones out here. There's a couple of varieties that I'm really excited about. This here being one. Oh, look at that. This looks like it has some of that herbicide damage too. You see that? Try to focus in on that. Those leaves look a little funky. Huh. It's interesting. It's frustrating. This is one of the plants that I am really excited about though. It is a Tabasco plant. Tabasco peppers. I've not ever tried the peppers before. I've heard good things about them. I've heard that they will really start pumping out the peppers when they, you know, when the time comes. And I can already tell the plant's pretty loaded. They're just not ripe yet. So give it a little bit more time. I think it needs a little more heat and just a little more time to really start coming on here. They're growing straight up, if you can tell. And I think that's how they stay. I think they'll ripen straight up like that. I could be wrong. But anyways, this one's here, or this one here is one I've grown in the past. It's Sugar Rush Peach. You know, I'll be real honest. We grew it last year for the first time. And they stayed about this color for the longest time. And I felt like they were supposed to be more of a peachy color. Or at least that's what all the pictures show when you Google them. And that's what the seed packet shows. But I never was able to really get them to that color before the season ended. So I don't know if you've ever grown this. Let me know. Is this the right stage to pick them at? The right color? Or should they get more peachy? It's odd to me that they never turn the right color. This is another one of those Tabasco plants here. Let's see. I think that may be as well. And then actually I think all of these are either Sugar Rush Peach or Tabasco. Now this one does look a little more peachy, but still not the color, well, maybe not. I don't know. Not the color I see in the pictures. These are pretty hot. They got a heat to them. Everything I've read says that they have a mild heat, but I feel like they're pretty stinking hot. I've got a lot of basil going. Genovese basil over here, purple opal basil all down there, and I let every single plant bolt unintentionally. I just, again, did not get out here in time to prune. Jill came out when she was out here the other day. She pinched off a lot of my little flowers here and just threw them on the ground for me so they would reseed and I could have some more basil plants. So anyways, what's good about this though is, first of all, the pollinators love it. It's really good for the pollinators. But these are so dang good for flower arrangements. It makes the flower arrangements smell amazing, first of all. But it's also really pretty. Like this purple one in particular is just really pretty to me with these little purple flowers. And then it just gives the bouquet, you know, I mean, I'm not a bouquet expert by any means, but I think it gives it a lot of visual appeal to have those little kind of flowering sprigs sticking out of there. Oh look, more zinnias. So this is a mix of some of the Cactus Zinnias, which are so pretty, and then a lot of those little magnolia silos. Look at this little guy here. Look how tiny, so little and sweet. But all sorts of colors. I think so far this year, my favorite color is this peachy color. If you don't grow flowers, or you've never grown flowers, or you're intimidated to grow flowers, definitely grow zinnias, because they are so stinking easy, and they will just produce and produce and produce until the frost hits. They seem to handle the heat really well. They're pretty forgiving on You know, if you forget to water, you don't water for a few days or so, you know, they'll start to wilt and look kind of sad, but you water them and they come right back. You know, you harvest them and they just continue to come back. They're just so easy. So definitely get you some zinnias. Look how sad this is. It's pitiful. I swear my tunnel looks way better than this. One person can only do so much, you know? Most of the plants look good. Oh gosh, except for this one. Look at that. I'm gonna come out here tonight with my black light, I guess. Oh, looky there. Look at him. He's nibbling away. See if I can't focus on that guy here. Look at him. He'll go to the chickens. So many ripe tomatoes though. So many. I gotta get out here and pick these. I'm probably gonna freeze a lot of these. We have so many tomatoes on our counter right now. Look at all these tomatoes I just harvested. So many tomatoes. And that's just half a row. You can produce so much food in such a small amount of space. Okay, I do know that I planted squash here. And this is just yellow summer squash. I left this here because I think this is where I originally had sunflowers planted when I very first planted at the beginning of the season, and the dang rabbits ate them. But I think that this is a little sunflower. See where that rabbit, let me scooch up here, but you can see where a rabbit nibbled right there. And I think that this is a sunflower that produced some little shoots. So I'm gonna leave it. It's gonna be funny if it is, because look, it's already got a little blossom on it. So it'll be like the tiniest little sunflower you've ever seen, but I'm leaving it. So anyways, I put squash down here a few days ago. And then my beans are still pumping out. I need to come out here and pick a bunch of beans to harvest and eat. These are the Landreth Stringless beans. We've grown these for a few years. We really like them. And that is actually what I planted over there as well. I did half a row of the Landreth Stringless and then half a row of some other bush bean that actually came from when I ordered my green stalk. They sent me a packet of bush beans, and so I went ahead and just used those up and put them in there. Look at all that, y'all. That is one small harvest that this little garden produced. So if you're thinking about doing a garden and you don't really know, you feel like you don't have much space, you can totally do a garden. And you can produce a good amount of food. That's enough for us to eat fresh. That's enough. I picked some that are a little on the green side so they can sit and they won't go bad while we're eating the ripe ones. And then that's also enough for me to freeze a little bit. So we'll have tomatoes through the winter for like soups and chilies and things. So you can totally do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. The worms are eating my tomato plants. The diseases are starting to get to them, but I'm still producing a really good amount of food, and it will continue to produce a good amount of food. And then when it gets real hot, I'm gonna pull them up, continue to plant food out here, and I'll be able to feed my family, and I'll be able to sell some. Okay, y'all, the sun is really starting to come out. I'm starting to sweat. I do have to get a few more things done out here. But I just kind of wanted to give you an update on how things are going. I wanted to take a minute to encourage you that if, you know, pests are killing your crops, or if disease is taking over your plants, don't get real frustrated, because it happens. Some of those things are just inevitable. They're gonna happen. You can still produce food. You can still have a good garden. So just keep going with it. That's what I'm doing. I'll see you guys next time.